Hi guys, Jay Smith here. Welcome to the AskGolfNut channel. Today we're doing the Wilson DynaPWR Irons. Now these are fairly strong lofted, 27 degrees, but these are aimed at a certain market with distance inspired and also that needs help. This is a rather large head, yes it is, but it also has quite a bit of tech. It has AI faces, yes, an artificial intelligence face. It's not that the face is intelligent, it's just a case that AI has had a chance to design this with variable face thickness in mind, so when you mishit it. And bear in mind also, Wilson is saying that 65% of 10 plus handicappers hit their miss towards the toe, then this golf club is designed to help very much so from that location. So we've got little slots at the bottom. Again, we've seen slots on golf clubs before in the past and still have slots to this date. So obviously slots must work, and we've got the AI face. We've got 27 degrees for 7-iron. There's the lofts. There you go, have a look at those. So they're fairly strong lofted. I have this in the KBS Max Ultralight shaft. Again, they do a certain amount of custom fitting. Some custom fit options are upchargeable, but remember, this is set at more of a budget kind of idea. Again, you can spend upwards of a lot of money when it comes to irons, and so Wilson are trying to target these irons towards the golfer that needs the help, but also needs the help with a certain price tag, we'll put it. Let's go give it a hit. Let's see if it makes any difference when it comes to the performance of it. And remember, at the end of the video, I'll be doing the forgiveness testing like I always do, and I'll hit it all around the face and see how forgiving these things are. Remember, these are the most forgiving option from Wilson, so we'll see just how good this is. Right, let's go get on a hole and let's go see how the Wilson DynaPWR iron gets on hit into a green. Right, so simulators now on. I have it at Beaver Hills Country Club, hole 14. It's a par 3, 181 yards. This is a 27 degree lofted 7-iron, so it is distance inspired, we'll call it that. And what I will do, again, this is designed for an individual that needs help from all over the face, and also possible distance and also possible launch. So I'll try and swing slower than my normal 90 something miles an hour with a 7-iron, because not many people can swing at 90 miles an hour with a 7-iron, especially not this golf club for what it's been targeted towards anyway. Look, slide down by the golf ball, it's got a decent amount of offset, and I do like the chrome though on Wilson irons. It's a game improvement iron, but it's still got quite a bit of chrome on there, which I quite like. Out to the right. Got to get my synchronization quite. It's flying though. Look at that. That's a woof. That is one heck of a yeah, punchy hit. 84 miles an hour clubhead speed, a couple of degrees from the inside, and face is still not quite released again. Just got to try and dial my sequencing right as I slow speed down, but it's still a good shot. It's 31 yards in the air, 44.4 degrees ascent angle. That's stopping on a green. That's 84 miles an hour, carrying 180 yards. Yeah. Now, feel off the face. Actually, as a game improvement iron goes, that's actually quite nice. I mean, okay, nice. I've still got the CB and the blade to do. They're going to feel nice. So this one, it's explosive, yes, but it's not like, okay, I've got to cover my ears when I hit it, kind of explosive. But yeah, it does quite well. 84 miles an hour. See if I can slow the swing down a bit more than that. Oh, no, 84.2 again, this time, slightly off the toe. But look at that. Look at that. It's doing exceptionally well. I mean, that was, I could actually feel that, which was interesting. Normally on a game improvement iron, you lose a little bit of feedback feel when you hit them, but not this one. I mean, it's big, it's bulky, it's going 32 yards in the air, 45 degrees ascent angle. It's doing really, really well. It's 1.4 yards offline, 8 feet to the pin. These work, these really do work. Looks quickly, okay, let's go see. It is a very big sole, but it's a game improvement iron, so it's supposed to have a very big sole. It's got a chunky amount of top line, it has, and blade lengths are big, but it's a game improvement iron, so it should be. You want real estate by the golf ball with a little bit of offset, there's the winner. But it just works really well. 84 miles an hour. Let's see if I can slower than that. Oh, I mishit it. That's what happens when you slow swing down too much. Go on, hop. Go on, get. That's fringe. I'll take it. Yeah, poor strike. Look at that, 7 mil low, 14 mil heel as I'm at 81 miles an hour, 80.6. So until I swing at a certain speed enough time to dial it in. But considering, I mean, that is what we would see as a normal miss hit. Path is a couple of degrees from the inside and face is 0. Is just miss hit. But efficiency is 1.34 from even there, which normally any golf club low heel hates. Now, I will be doing full forgiveness testing after this little bit here, but I am very surprised by how good that one just did. Right, what did I do there? 81 miles an hour, 80.6. Let's see if I can get it sub 80 and get that face releasing a little bit. So not quite caught it. Oh, 81. But that's laying in front edge. That's doing really, really well. That was low on the face as well. So it's going to go in slightly shallower. It's not going to reach its peak height that it could do, etc. No, because of the strike. 25 yards in the air, 41 degrees descent angle. But I mean, that's still doing well. 164 from a not a very good hit. I'm actually quite impressed by this. I mean, again, this is priced at a lower amount, but I can't really see any difference to that from other premium manufacturers. It's just doing the same. Now, when it comes to shafts and custom fit options, yes, there is a certain amount of saying Wilson offer a certain amount, a few, not many, of stock options, and they do offer other shaft options as well, but then they are upchargeable, so then it starts bringing it into a somewhat in line with it. You kind of get the idea. But if you're lucky enough to be in a stock option, these are really good value. Now that was good, sweet. Swing speed 83. Too fast, but that's really very, very good. That was slightly heely, but working just so well. 177 yards at 1.4 efficiency, and that was 9mm heel still. Wow, this golf club works. It really does work. I mean, okay, it's going not quite 30 yards in the air, but 43.4 degrees descent angle. From that, I am taking that all day long, especially because I'm not swinging. I'd be really interested from my point of view to swing really quick, or not really quick, my normal speed, to see how high this thing goes. But again, that's not the point, because again, people that are going to be using this are for the people that's going to be using quite a bit of the face, which we'll be testing in a little bit. And then also that doesn't really swing it that quick, so needs the help getting out there. Right, let's see if I can do a sub 80. Last one, sub 80. Oh, I missed that. That's terrible. There's me guiding it. I deserved that. I'm not going to do that. That's 79 miles an hour. Yep. Low heel. Let's do it again. Very quick. 79 miles an hour. Toe though, Jay. 79.2. Just saw it on there. That's done really well again. I mean, that's in the 70s, as it just takes me a little while to dial in the speed. It's doing really good. 1.41 efficiency. We have got club path, what, 1 degree from the inside, face closed by 1, but even that's not middle, 5mm heel, 6mm low. That's really, like, very good. Okay, descent angle now is at the dangerously low of 39.5, so you have to be hitting a slow green to 79 miles an hour. But again, this is 27 degree lofted. And so commonly what you'll find for people that are swinging that kind of 70 miles an hour or so, they'll look to change out now from their 7 iron into 6 hybrid, 5 hybrid, that idea, 9 woods, etc. So possibly 7 iron would be their last iron. But really very, very good. Right, let's go give it a whack all over the face, more extreme than what we've just seen there. Might actually go give it a hit out the toe, seems I haven't managed to so far, and see how well it does, because this is the game improvement iron. This is the one that should work best all over the face, and I'll try and do it at a slower swing speed if possible. How forgiving are these DynaPWR irons? Now, I've hit this golf club so many times from different spots of the face, so we can get an understanding of just how well it works. I've captured some maxed out data as well at the slower speed and also at my speed as well for a bit of fun, to see what this golf club's capable of. But I'll give you the averages first, but bearing in mind obviously the averages are blurred a little bit because we've got all the extra forgiveness data in there as well. So on average, the Wilson DynaPWR ball speed of 111.4, launching at nearly 18 degrees, spinning at 3.7, so 3,700. It may look low, and yes, it does look low, but bearing in mind also it's a 27 degree lofted 7-iron. Now, my 5-iron is 27 degrees because my golf clubs are what's known as traditionally lofted. Now, traditionally lofted is an interesting phrase because traditional has changed over the years. I can remember when a 7-iron was 37 degrees, not 34, and so things move on. Now, it used to say 1,000 RPM per iron, so a 7-iron does 7,000, a 6-iron does 6,000. That works, but that only works when you're looking at old school lofts, and even nowadays traditional lofts won't necessarily get 7,000 RPM from a 7-iron, 6,000 RPM from it. So my traditionally lofted 5-iron at 27 degrees only spins around 4.7, 4.8, something like that. But so this is actually not doing too bad considering I'm taking a lot of speed off. So the difference between 1,000 RPM that I would see from this iron to my blade has got a lot to do with speed orientated spin. We'll go into the clubhead speed in a sec, but it's going 26 yards in the air and descending at 41.4 degrees. So it's still going to stop on most, if not all, greens at a carry of near on 170. If we look at the clubhead speed, is 80 miles an hour on the dot, and I have got some fast and slow swing speeds either side of the 80 miles an hour that will blur the data a little bit, but on average 80 miles an hour. Efficiency 1.39. Now, considering that's got some interesting shots in there as well, it's really very good. I have hit so many shots, it's silly to try and get an understanding of how good or bad this golf club is. Attack angle 2.8 degrees down, 1.7 from the inside, 0.8 open, so little baby fades, and loft of 22.5 degrees. It is a 27 degree, but then you've got a certain amount of D loft, around about 4 degrees or so, and 0 mil toe, 2 mil low. That's on average. However, you've got a standard deviation of 7 mil and 4 mil, and that is a measure of my variance. And so, yes, I've hit a lot of shots and from some very interesting places to gain an understanding of how this golf club works. If you want to go have a quick look at the ball and club compare screen so you can see, I mean, flight-wise, yes, it does go a little bit kind of rainbow flighty, but again, that's down to speed and loft. Again, you look at this and possibly say, if you were going to go swing in the mid 70s with this DynaPWR iron, I might even forego the 7-iron and then go straight into hybrids after your 8-iron. It all depends. Now, the reason why there is strong lofted irons, now distance, very quickly, the distance aspect of strong lofted irons, I don't necessarily see it to try and add a boatload of distance. What I see distance irons, as in very strong lofted irons, they're therefore try and keep gappings correct. So if we were to not strongly loft everything and get to a point of where everything was 34 degrees with a 7-iron, everything was 30 degrees for a 6-iron, what you would find as you start taking swing speed down naturally, because everyone swings at a different speed, the gappings in between golf clubs would get really very small. So if you go through a strongly lofted set, the gaps in between the lofts are bigger, and so you then, with your slower swing speed, have normal or nominalized gaps like another player who swings faster have nominalized gaps. So that's really what distance irons do, is give the slow swingers the opportunity to have sensible gaps between their irons. Right, let's go to the forgiveness side of things. We've got one here at a really massive 21 millimeters heel, 4 mil low, 83.3 miles an hour clubhead speed, but yeah, it's largely irrelevant. But 1.33. Now remember, average was 1.39. Has it dropped? Yes. I mean, it's dropped 0.06. But I think everyone would agree, 21 millimeters heel, that was so close to the hosel. Like, so close to the hosel. it's done really, really well. From there, it's done incredibly well from there. That's not something that you'd normally see. But then again, you can get away with a 21mm heel on this golf club. Why? Because it's got real estate. The head is just so much bigger than a blade. And so if you would hit a 21mm on a blade, you would be hitting the hosel just because the head isn't that big. But it's doing really, really well from there. If you go to slightly heel now, just a nominal heel miss, 9mm heel, 0mm low, and its efficiency is at 1.4. Again, that is the same, if not better than average. If you go mental low, like ridiculously mentally low, 16mm low, 4mm toe, that is so close to a thin. Have we compromised launch? Yeah, launch is at 13 degrees rather than 17.7 on average. So you have compromised launch by hitting it that low, but efficiency is 1.34. Well, that's only 0.05 from the average from there. And that was so close. You do that with a blade and your fingers are fuzzing for 3 weeks. It's done exceptionally well. If we go low and toe, 11mm low, 11mm toe. Generally speaking, not very nice to go 11mm low on anything, especially go toe as well. 1.32 efficiency. So we're losing a little bit more, but bear in mind, that is nowhere near middle. And that, we launching now is at 16.5, so we only lost a degree or so of launch from that strike, which is, it's impressive, this iron. Okay, let's go to what I would say normal toe shot miss. It's 12mm toe, 2mm high, so it's 14, so it's basically half an inch off the middle, so it's still not middle. 1.4 efficiency. Better than average. And then if we go 19mm low, 19mm toe, 9mm low, very, very toey and low as well, is 1.34. That's very, very impressive from that. That is such a bad strike, but it's done so, so well. Right, let's go maxed out very quickly to give you an understanding of just how good this golf club is if you go nice and slow. This is at 77.9 miles an hour, so it is nice and slow, and we are 2mm low, 0mm hill, so we are 2mm away from perfect. It's going 165 yards, an efficiency of 1.41. That's for an absolute out the screws shot. And it's gone 26 yards in the air and 42 degrees descent angle. So even at 78 miles an hour, that will stop on most greens. Remember, I love 45 degrees because that's a perfect understanding of that's going to stop on anything regardless of how hard the green is. But in true terms, anything between 40 and 45 degrees will stop on most, if not all, greens. And then if you go sub 40, then you're starting to look at having to go into soft greens for the ball to stop. So even at 78 miles an hour, if you're a decent ball striker, then I could foresee that you could possibly use a 7-iron and then progress into something like a 6 hybrid, etc. But if you're going to be hitting all over the face a little bit, then I would be possibly looking to drop out the 7-iron for some other hybrid or heavily lofted fairway woods, etc. So last one for a bit of fun. If you want to know how well this thing goes, I hit it at my normal speed, so fully warmed up, 93.7 miles an hour clubhead speed, path slightly from the inside, face slightly closed. It's gone 200 yards carry, it's gone 40 yards in the air, and 49 degrees descent angle rounded. Yeah, this thing is a rocket. Now, the problem I would have, obviously, for people swinging at 94 miles an hour, the 7-iron would be this. Now, my loft gaps in between individual golf clubs here will be crazy. The distance between golf clubs will be mental, and I would never say in a month of Sundays that any person who's swinging at this kind of speed with a 7-iron should be using these kind of golf clubs. It makes no sense whatsoever. We need at this speed to, within reason, have a slightly more sensibly loft gap set. But this set here from Wilson, the DynaPWR, is designed for forgiveness. It's designed for the slightly slower swinger who needs a bit more help getting the ball up in the air and getting it firing off the face, of which it does very, very well. And it's also designed for a certain budget in mind. Now, these aren't massively expensive irons, no, they're not. And yes, being honest, they can get slightly more expensive if you need a custom fit, custom shaft, which is not stock option, that you have to be aware, yes, and be honest about. But on average, this DynaPWR iron, I've got it down here, it is a blooming good iron. I am very, very impressed with the DynaPWR iron, and it is something definitely that I would be suggesting that a lot of people test. And if you can get away with a stock option in your shaft when it comes to the DynaPWR, it could be a very, very good value option for you. So, conclusion for it: looks, yeah, it's a game improvement iron, has got a bit of chrome on it, which I like, but it's a game improvement iron, so it's big, but then again, it's not for me, it's for people that want the real estate, and that does it very, very well. Feel is actually, for a game improvement iron, it's actually not too bad. It's not the most explosive game improvement iron on the market, but for sure. It's not the quietest either, but it's quite pleasant considering. And so that is all subjective, and you ask 10 different people, you get 10 different answers on that one anyway. So, but again, performance and forgiveness, we've seen it does very, very well. So, hope you liked the video. If you did, thumbs up, YouTube likes it, so do I. Down there is a subscribe button. It's free and it's great for the channel if you could subscribe. Next to it is a bell icon, that's a notification bell, and if you click that one, that will notify you next time I upload another video. So I hope you're well, and we'll see you again soon.